Hello and welcome to the slightly late running TipsterHQ Hangout with Jason Mills. Now, unfortunately, we have had some technical difficulties, and I'm not 100% sure what's caused it. I've got a feeling it's Windows 10. But Jason is tonight. Jason, you are a blank screen.
Yeah, I feel like it as well.
Been one of those days, is it?
Oh, it's been manic, absolutely crazy. Friday, end of the week. Can't say I've got to have an easy weekend either. I've got loads of things to do. So yeah,
I've had an interesting day. Just to quickly give you an idea of how my day has gone. I went out this morning, and you may not know, but I'm sort of thinking about getting rid of these and getting my eyes lasered. So I was going through all the tests, and I had to put eye drops in my eyes, which make them go really wide.
Yep.
So it's like almost all iris. So my eyes are like almost completely black, and I had to walk out. And of course, because your eyes are like that, you can't regulate the light coming in. And it was quite a bright sunny day here in Paris today, and it was hurting, man. So my eyes are streaming, but they're like still like this. And I'm thinking I must look like I'm high on some kind of drug. I'm walking through the streets of Paris, and I'm trying to get into the metro where it's dark. And this young lady taps me on the shoulder, and I look at her, and there's a look of shock and fear on her face. And so, my God, who have I asked? And this guy's crying, and his eyes are like this. I've had a day. Let's put it like that.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yes. How long did that take to recover?
It took about 3 or 4 hours.
Wow. They obviously warned you then at the clinic.
Like, are you driving today? And I was like, no, but I knew what was happening, so it done earlier in the week as well. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't fun.
No.
But hey, we're onto some fun stuff now, aren't we?
So what was the result? Are they going to allow you to have the operation then? Or?
I have no idea. I'll find out next week.
Ah.
Yes. So
got to be better than glasses.
Well, I like these glasses. They're cool. But hey. Anyway, we better get on to what we're talking about. Jason, hello. How you doing?
Hello. Yeah, very well, thank you.
Yeah. Apart from being knackered.
Yes. Unfortunately, a lot going on at the minute, but that's good. Yeah.
All right, so Jason, we're going to be talking some football.
Great.
I think we ought to let people know though before that if they're interested in getting tips, they can actually sign up for free at TipsterHQ, get 6 months free, and this weekend I believe you're giving your tips away for free. Is that right?
Yes, we're doing a bit of a promotion, so that's the idea. Hopefully the results will follow the recent trend, which has been pretty good so far this season. Good start.
Yes, indeed. So I know there's some matches that you wanted to talk about. Let me get the list up here. Oh dear, what did we say? We said Man U. Oh, okay, let me get that sorted out here. So let's get started with them.
Yeah,
let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, we tried to do some popular ones, didn't we? Thought which would be good matches, which would be popular ones to cover.
So we've got Man U against Liverpool. Ooh, this. I don't know. I was talking about this one with Natalie earlier in the week. I said to Natalie, this is the kind of game that you really look forward to back, not even 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years, 3 years ago. This was the kind of match you really look forward to. You expected something good from it. But now you look at a Manchester United side that's playing pretty dour football. And you look at a Liverpool side that haven't exactly pulled up any trees this season either. And I'm thinking, this is not going to be a high-scoring game. It's not going to be that interesting. You're going to have two teams that are probably going to just try and run the game down and try and get one goal and leave it at that. Is that what your system's saying?
Let me have a look. I'm having problems with Windows again here, so I'm having problems getting my data sheets up. But yeah, no, it's it is looking a tough match to call. I mean, being early on in the season as well, there's I wouldn't say there's nothing to play for, but it's it's an early one, so it's hard to predict. And like you said, neither of them have been really sort of blazing, have they? They're not sort of in fantastic form. They sort of start to think that they've got a bit of momentum going, and then they let the air out, and so it's going to be a tough one. But if you go by history, Man United seem to have the upper hand here. Louis van Gaal triumphed in both matches last season. They seem to be, Man United seem to be playing, a little bit better and, to his style of football, and that is sort of different to what they're used to. It took them a few games last season to, get into the run of things. I thought they were doing that at the start of this season. They were doing right well at the start, and then they just slipped up recently, didn't they? So, again, if you look, there's only been one draw in the past 23 meetings between these sides. So,
Ooh.
There's not many draws. Normally, one side wins or the other. So, I mean, I think it's a case of whoever scores the first goal, he's probably going to be likely to go on and win it, because, as you said, I can't see there being lots of goals in this match. So, yeah, it's a tough match to call.
I'm looking at this one, and I've added something new to my stat sheets recently. I've added something called expected score.
Right.
And the expected score on my stat sheet says 0-0. And Man United have scored 2 goals all season. And one of those was an own goal. Yeah. And Liverpool have scored 2 goals all season. And I've no idea if any of those were own goals, but I mean, it's not particularly good. Especially Liverpool played Bournemouth, and Liverpool, whatever you think of them, should be beating Bournemouth by 2 goals, I think, at least.
Yep, should be.
Man United beat Tottenham 1-0 with Kyle Walker doing them a favour, and then Man United got a 1-0 win against Aston Villa. And I've got a feeling it was Januzaj that scored in that one. Of course, he's now been shipped off to Borussia Dortmund, so he's not going to be playing either. So, and then there's 0-0 against Newcastle.
Yep.
So I'm not seeing a brilliantly entertaining game.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if that 0-0 was right. I know Natalie earlier in the week, she was saying this one would go probably 1-0 to Man United. And I think if there is going to be a winner, then Man United is probably the one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've just throw a couple of stats in history that sort of goes slightly against what you're saying. Man United have won 7 of the last 8 against Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Okay.
So they have a slight advantage there, and they've scored at least 2 goals in their last 3 matches against Liverpool. So I know you're saying it's a low-scoring match, and I've got a feeling it will be as well. But like I say, the last 3 matches, Man United have scored at least twice. So if they get motivated and with home support and that, they might rattle a couple in. But it could be one of those dour matches again. It's a tough match to call. It really is. But I know it was a popular match. If you wanted to, me to go on one side or the other, this isn't the match to sort of be easy one to do. But I know it would be a popular match. People would want to hear about it. But it seems like we're hedging our bets here a bit. But it is a tough one to call. I think many pundits are feeling the same.
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are sitting on the fence on this one. I know I'm not putting a bet on this game. There's no chance. Even whatever you say tomorrow morning, because I know you have some stats now, don't you?
Yeah.
But you have your official stats coming through tomorrow morning sometime. Is that right?
Yeah, I normally wait for the market to to firm up. What you'll notice is that there is a slight difference between a Friday and a Saturday. The markets tend to sort of stabilise and then tend to point in one direction. So when I put my tips out, I like to do it on a 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, or if they're or 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning for Sunday matches. And the midweek matches, I like to do about 4 o'clock on that day. So people have got at least 4 hours on every match to get their bets down. But it's better for me to predict long term, knowing which way the market is, once it's settled down. So they don't change a lot from, say, a Friday night to a Saturday morning, or from a Saturday to a Sunday. They do, get the odd few change, but generally they tend to follow what I've come to the conclusion at Friday night. But
yeah, I think this one should have a fair amount of money in the market.
Yeah,
it's one of those games that does tend to attract money. So can we get a little hint on what we might be seeing tomorrow morning?
Yeah, let's have a look. It's a draw. They've gone down for a draw. So it is a close match.
And I'm seeing odds for a draw around 3.5. Is that right?
Yeah, 3.49 I've got here, but that is, that is an average bookies odds that are, you should be able to get slightly better than 3.49, but yeah, about 3.5 is about right. Yeah.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Now I think later in the season, I think this might be a more interesting game, but right now, I'm not a fan with it.
No.
But I'm looking at the under. I'm looking at a very low scoring game. I think if there's going to be anything, I think a Man U win. But yeah, I'm not happy. What was the next match you wanted to look at tonight?
Well, we've got there's three others. There's Everton, Chelsea. There's Palace, Man City, or Norwich, Bournemouth. So we can do any of them. Whichever you. Should we do it in match order? Go with Everton, Chelsea.
Yeah, why not? Let's have a look at them.
Chelsea had a bit of a ropey start, haven't they? They haven't been far. And I thought at the start of the season, just looking at the sides and the teams, and who's going to be in the top four, and I had a feeling last year that Chelsea would do well, and they did. This season, I just seem to think that they're just on the wane. I think John Terry is just tipping over, his best. I think he's.
John Terry's his game's never been based on pace, has it?
No.
So I think he's as physical as he was before. I think he's got another year in him.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But there comes a point where they just go over the. And I think his last season, he was, with Cahill and that, and was really good. But I just think this season there's just something just not quite right about Chelsea. It's just not. But I mean, they might. They might gel and start firing, and then all guns blazing towards. But at the moment they just don't look balanced. But that's just me. So
yeah. And today's news won't help either. You see that in the news? Thibaut Courtois out for 3 months or something.
No, I didn't see that.
He's picked up some kind of injury and has had an operation, so he's going to be out for a while. Which of course puts the ex-Stoke goal Begovic. Begovic in goal. I think Begovic is a pretty good goalkeeper, but a little bit of inexperience in there, I think, at the moment for an inexperience in a Chelsea side. I mean, he's got loads of Premier League experience. So.
Yeah, because normally they've got a really strong, back three, haven't they? Goalkeeper, Terry and Cahill. Those three central, those sort of goal-stopping machines as such. They normally sort of help them keep a clean sheet, and then they go off and score a goal at the other end. And I just can't see that happen at the moment. I can see them leaking goals in, and that's where they are sort of dropping points in a minute. That odd extra goal that's being scored, they've got how many points have they got so far? Only about 4, isn't it?
They got 4 points. They picked up a win against West Brom, which was fully expected, I think. And then for me, the only surprise, I was surprised that they lost 3-0. Not that they lost, but the 3-0 scoreline.
Yeah,
I think normally against a big team, I think Mourinho likes to keep things a bit tighter. So there was that, and then of course there was the Swansea game. Now I think that wasn't as much of a surprise as people are saying, because I think Swansea are a good side.
Yeah,
and I think they'll do that to other sides this season. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't be too worried about it if I was a Chelsea fan.
No,
I think this team's going to come back and they'll be challenging for the title end of the season.
Yeah, could well do, but something's got to, whether it's the formation, whether it's just the dressing room, whether it's whatever it is, Mourinho's going to be chomping at the bit since their loss last weekend, isn't he? So or weekend before that, so he's going to motivate them. So
Mourinho does seem to have this third season syndrome, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
because his third season at Inter not particularly good, or he left, I think, actually. His first season at Real Madrid, didn't win the league and ended up leaving, and this is his first season back at Chelsea, and it's not started too well.
No, I mean, how long was he there previously before he left? Was that the third season?
5 or 6 years, I think.
Oh, right, okay, that wasn't the third season. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was there for quite some time. There is no doubting this is a top class manager.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Looking at my stats, I've got this one down as a draw. I'm looking at expected score 1-1. Now I don't think it's going to end up like that. I think we'll probably see a Chelsea win, and I think we could see a 2-1 win to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I've got conflicting information because I've got the over/under system.
Yeah.
It says over, and I've got expected score that says 1-1. So they're, one says over, one says under. So nobody said it would be perfect.
No. I have two systems as well, and I have one favourite that I give out, and I give to, give out as actual the official tips. I have another system that I run that is just as a safety net, to make sure everything, and that it does other things, but without getting too complicated and giving away my secrets. But yeah, there's
don't do that.
there's quite a few. Normally they're quite close together. But this week, and I'm not just making excuses because I'm giving out tips and I'm worried about it, but it's just that there's so many close matches this week, right on the brink. There's never the huge disparity between like homes and away. Not many times does, in fact, ever has the system gone for away for one and home on the other. But where they normally differ is like one will be draw and one will be home, or one will be draw and one will be away.
Yeah.
And there's a few very, very borderline matches. This week 5.
I think this early in the season as well.
It is. Yeah. But I've gone for a Chelsea win here, Chelsea away win. I think it's going to be close, but I think there's going to be a rebound. I think Mourinho's going to be getting his players to perform this weekend and get the chase going because they need to.
I'm seeing odds of 2.13 at Pinnacle for that.
That's very good. I've got down 2.05 here from what I've just, for the average.
The average. Hang on, let me have a quick look. 2.07 I've got for the average.
Okay, yeah.
But that's for some bookies that I don't particularly rate being ruled out. So you go to the English. This is the thing. I know there's a lot of UK clients out there and they can't get hold of Pinnacle. So you've got to look at them and see what they can get. 2.1 with William Hill.
That's good.
2.1 with Bet365 as well, and BetVictor. So I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, you see what I mean about the market stabilising. When I only checked about 2 or 3 hours ago, and that was 2.05. So the market is between a Friday night, and a Saturday morning. That does change.
Yeah.
And the over round comes down a bit. Goes from 1.07 to 1.05, 1.04 and a half. So
which is generally an indicator that the market's firming up a bit.
That's it, definitely.
Yeah. Well, as I said, these early season results, I've got an expected score of 1-1, and I don't think that's going to be right. I think I'm expecting this game to go over. And when you look at the shots on target and shots conceded for Everton, they've had 4 shots on target or something all season.
Wow.
Which means that they must have scored an own goal against Southampton because I'm seeing 5 goals scored in total. Sorry, this is away. They've scored, right, in total, 10 shots on target and 18 conceded, which is still pretty low, I think. 30 shots in total, though, so they're making some chances.
It was a good match between these sides last time. I think it was 6-3 to Chelsea. This corresponding feature last year, 6-3 or 3-6. We should have that.
Aye.
Yeah, so
that was a big one. I remember that one.
Actually, goals.
I'm expecting there'd be a few.
Yeah.
So and of course, there's a recent grudge, a bit of grudge between them because Chelsea trying to nick John Stones.
Yes.
Well, I say nick. I mean, they're offering £40 million or something. It's not really stealing.
No.
Anyway.
So Everton didn't want to let him go.
Everton didn't want to let him go. What a surprise!
40 million.
I know.
Wow.
I remember when Chris Sutton went for 5, and I thought, wow, that's big money.
Yeah.
Looks like small change nowadays. You've got reserve team players going for that kind of money.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, you get.
Oh dear.
We're getting old.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I was going to say my eyesight's going, but it happened a long time ago. All right, so I think we'll wait on that one. You can let everybody know what the tip is tomorrow. All right.
I've already given it.
Have you?
Yeah. So let that slip. Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's all right. Well, again, these are just your provisional tips, aren't they?
They are. Yeah. I mean, that could change.
Certain ones, yeah.
No. They could change by tomorrow morning, but yeah, I had one change. I do check it daily, and one changed from Thursday to to tonight. So it could go back again. Never know.
All right, let's have a look at Crystal Palace against Man City. This is what, first against second in the league or something?
Yeah, this is fantastic. This looks really, from a stats point of view, just go crunching numbers as I do. It doesn't matter to me, who team A is and who team B is. When I look at the numbers, it could be, Chelsea versus Man City or Chelsea versus Man United. I mean, this just happens to be Palace versus City, and it's just looking really good. Really good match, so it should be entertaining.
Well, I'm looking at this. You've got Man City. They've kept a clean sheet in every single match. Scored 8 goals, top of the league. Yeah, they're looking pretty good for a win in this one, I think I have to say.
They are, yeah. They've won their last 10 league matches, which is a club record. 10 matches in a row. I think 16 is the record. I think Arsenal got that, 16 in a row. But, we shan't mention them. This is, I mean, they haven't conceded a goal in the last 5 matches either. Man City, like I think you just said that, so they're looking good. Palace obviously just beat Chelsea, second in the league. They're doing really well under Pulis, aren't they?
Well, I've got Palace. Last game they beat Norwich. Sorry to bring that up. And they lost against Arsenal. And the first game of the season, they had a 2-1 win against Villa. I think that's right.
I haven't.
Or maybe have I got the dates wrong around? It could be the other way around. I don't know. I honestly haven't taken that much notice. I know that I had a little bet on the Crystal Palace Arsenal game. I expected Palace to get a point out of that at least, and that cost me a little bit, not a huge amount, but And I said earlier, the Man City Chelsea game, I was a little bit surprised by the extent of that victory. Maybe not the fact that that Man City got a win. I mean, this is a side full of good players, but they're looking a lot better than they did last season. But I'm seeing 1.67 for an away win here.
1.67. Wait a second.
How does that line up for you?
That's 1. Now I got 1.69, but that is not my official bet at the moment as it stands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are we looking at a draw?
I am looking at a draw here. Yeah, with juicy odds here, 4.12.
Wow, that's pretty good. Now, I heard a stat today. I was listening to another podcast, the Guardian Football Weekly. It's always pretty good, I think. And they said that Crystal Palace have actually picked up 2.3 points per game away from home, but considerably less, 1.2 or 1.4 or something like that, when playing at home, which is a little bit surprising. You expect them to have better home form than away form, but it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, actually, again, this is Man City are down as quite strong to win. The actual, the stats that I do and keep, the numbers are all pointing to a Man City win.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and this is where you can, which makes a difference, is that you can look historically against other matches, and sometimes when you've got really, really strong away form, that's when you these really strong numbers is when you get the surprise results, and that's where the odds are pushed out slightly in favour of an alternative to the obvious. And I think this is what what's been punched up here is that the draw odds are slightly too high, because everybody's expecting a Man City win and then to carry on. The chances of a draw happening are fairly likely, and you're getting good odds for that. Obviously, for the same for a home win, but I just can't see the home win happening. Not by the numbers I've got, but a draw is possible. So that's value as in the draw.
Yeah, I think there's probably 4.3. I think there is decent value in the draw there. I'm expected score. It's saying a 1-0 win to Man City, which is not too far off what you're saying.
No, and it's surprising, isn't it? Because you'd think Man City, any other time, you'd think they'd sort of jump at that, 3-1, 3-0.
Well, they've had a 1-2-0 win and 2-3-0 wins this season, so expected to be higher. But as I said, this thing doesn't always work out because my system is saying over 2.5 goals. So, dear, let's see how this works out. I'm personally with the expected score. I think it's going to be reasonably tight.
Yeah, it's a good match. That's why I asked to cover it, because that was it's just interesting one.
Okay, what was the next one for us?
Last one I think was Norwich Bournemouth. Norwich being where I live, not where I was born, but I've lived here most of my life. Actually, I was just to cover things here. I was my closest home team where I was born is Chelsea, and I live in Norwich, so I like both of those two sides. But for my sins, but yeah, no, Norwich are very more topsy turvy. They're very sort of more ups and downs than Chelsea. Chelsea normally obviously always up there, but Norwich have their fortunes. Premier, then down to Championship, then down to then back up again, and then yeah, they've been up and down like a yo-yo.
Well, it's not as good as mine, I think. Look at my history. I was born in Luton. They're way down now. They've dropped through the league since I've been born, so it's probably my fault. I don't know. Supported Tottenham for years and years and years, and I think they've won like 2 cups in the time I've been a supporter. And I follow Torquay United, who are now down in the National League.
Wow.
So poor old Torquay.
You don't follow PSG then? They're not your closest to you.
PSG are my closest side, but God, why would you? No. Oh dear, it's like playing Monopoly with even more fake money.
Yes.
It's like I'll just take 3/4 of the bank to start Monopoly with, and everybody else can have a little bit more. It's just, it's not my kind of thing. But hey.
Yeah. So Norwich Bournemouth, this is going to be interesting because they both sides were promoted last year. Never played each other in the Premiership, probably because Bournemouth have never been in the Premiership. So
there might be something to do with it.
Something to do with it. But last year, I mean, Norwich are playing at home. They haven't been brilliant at home, to be honest with you. They've actually won. They won away, didn't they? And they haven't done great at home. And normally Norwich do tend to play. Being a fan, they do tend to play away better than they do at home a lot of the time.
Yeah, but you got two Norwiches last season, didn't you? You had Neil Adams Norwich and Alex Neil.
Yeah.
And Alex Neil Norwich was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And just played out their skin. That's the kind of Norwich you want to see this year.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Adams Norwich, which wasn't quite so good.
No.
No,
the new manager, he's absolutely fantastic. I can see him going on to sort of bigger and greater things. I think he's going to get, after a couple of seasons.
Yeah, not too soon though, right?
No, I'm hoping not. No, definitely not. No, he's a star in the making, I think. Yeah, very good motivator. So, and they've been slightly unlucky this season as well. But I'm trying to be unbiased. But yeah, they had a few dodgy calls, but it evens out. So, yeah.
Now, the one thing that really worries me for Norwich is their conversion rate. Shots to goals is 5.26% for home games.
Yeah.
They have 2 home games and they've got 1 point.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty low. And that actually, Bournemouth ain't great. Bournemouth away from home have 14.29% conversion rate. So that's probably leading to why this system is saying a 1-0 win to Bournemouth. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Do you want me to give away the official tip? My official tip, and it's quite a strong one, is a draw again. Just happens to be 3.48 I've got for the draw here. The difference
around 3.5.
Yeah, I mean the difference between these sides on my numbers is so close. I mean you can't get a Rizla paper between them. They are the numbers are that tight. That it really is a close match. I mean Norwich beat Bournemouth when they were both promoted. Norwich got 6 points, 4 points out of the last 6 when they played them. They beat them away from home, and they at Bournemouth, and then they drew at home at Norwich. And I can just see that, being repeated again, although, there's going to be the home support and the motivation and, trying to get the, the points in the bag, because Norwich obviously thinking ahead, and they I know they set themselves a target, and this would be one of the ones that they'll earmark for, for points.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, more so than obviously, they're not going to think that they're going to bag 3 points playing away at Stamford Bridge, but this one they would be looking to get something, 3 points if not at least just the one. But Bournemouth aren't no pushovers, and I can see them playing, like you're saying, how well they play away from home, and they've hit the ground running. They haven't been shy for for the Premiership, being it's the first time they've ever been in there.
Yeah, Bournemouth got a couple of injury problems though. Tyrone Mings out for what, a year with a cruise ship problem, and Gradle as well. Max Gradle, he's out for 6 to 9 months. Those are two big players for Bournemouth. They spent a lot of money on those two. So
yeah,
Tyrone Mings, I think, said their top purchase ever. The record purchase. So that's not a good start for them.
No, but there again, they've only lost one of the last 8 away matches. Bournemouth, they do play, like you said, they do play well away from home. It's not they don't just sort of rack the points up at home. They do play well away, and similar to Norwich in many ways. Norwich do play well away from home as well, and that's why I'm thinking these two sides are quite closely matched. They're sort of close on a number of things. I can't see there being, it could be a 2-1 Norwich win, it could be a 2-1 away Bournemouth win, but I'm thinking that that it's so close that it could easily be a 1-1-2, 0-0, 1-1-2-2.
Yeah, I can see the potentially the draw happening. So it may come in with that one.
That's it. We've picked a lot of draws this, these 4 matches.
You chose these matches, not me.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
Yeah, I just picked the matches for had the interest of them, and it just happened. I didn't check the official, but again that might change tomorrow morning. So definitely log in the morning and check them, because they could change. But should be some great matches.
One last thing, just to set my heart alight. What have you got for Tottenham?
Oh,
Sunderland, Tottenham.
Tottenham.
I'm looking at this and it ain't looking great.
I actually have an away win for Tottenham.
Really?
Yeah. 1.98 I've got here.
Mine's saying under 2.5 and expected score of 0-0. So I think Tottenham has created more chances in the league than anyone else. But they've also got one of the lowest conversion rates. So 7.32% overall.
Oh, just notice something. Just looking down these odds, obviously normally you get home odds are obviously a lot lower than draws and away odds. But if you look down the list of the home odds, there's only 2 that are under evens. And one of them's Arsenal, which is really low, and the other one's Leicester, which is right. It's a very close call, very close to even. So most of these games of this week, the stronger team is the away side. And that then makes it a tricky. That's probably why it's a tricky week to call when it's like that.
Let's have a look. There's 1, 2, 3. I see. Arsenal, Manchester United, and Leicester.
Man United have got 1.99. Yeah, you're right. But again, they're so close to evens.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know. About Arsenal. They've struggled against Stoke in the past. I know Stoke have some issues. With getting sent off and things.
But they do have a very good history. Stoke don't travel to Arsenal very well, and between those sides, there's a huge home advantage, be it at Arsenal or be it at Stoke. Whoever's playing at home tends to win that match,
1.29 average odds for that. So
that is very low. I mean, I've got Arsenal down for a win now. I'm giving away more tips here.
Oh, stop it.
That could change in the morning. That could change. But, that is very low odds.
So roughly what time were we expecting to see those tips come out in the morning then?
Between about 9:30. Give me a little chance to double check, and about 9:30 I'll be posting.
Okay, so if anybody is watching and they want to get involved, and they can head over to TipsterHQ. Look over on the right hand side, and there's an advert there that says you can sign up for 6 months free of charge, and that is really free of charge. There's no obligation, no fee, and end of 6 months your subscription will just end, and if you don't want to continue it, then it won't cost you anything. So sign up, and this weekend you get free access to Jason Mills forum. So make sure you check that out as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about open and clarity and honesty here. There's so many sites out there that are willing to take your money, rip you off. You know, you don't get a say. You know, we're not like that at all. You know, we're not out to do that at all. So, you know, this is the place to be if you just want, you know, clear and honest information.
Yeah, well, I don't know many sites I don't know any sites actually that give the average odds achieved by the clients.
No.
So we do that. So, you know, of course we have to get the information from our clients. So if you are following Jason's tips, please fill them out because that helps us out a lot.
Definitely.
So, you know, everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting for us as well. You know, I mean, to see. I mean, I know what odds I'm getting, but you know, and I know that the prices I put down are on the slightly, you know, underside of that. You know, so that everybody I know. I mean, it's nothing worse than giving a tip out and knowing that people can't get any money on at that price. You know, so it's really interesting. It'd be really nice for me to see if people can better the prices that, you know, that I put down. It'd be nice to see that happen.
Yeah, well, let's hope that's the way it goes. So thank you very much, Jason, and I shall be waiting for your tips to come out in the morning because I've always followed them. So
great.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jason. You have a good night. Let me just get everything ready here, and thank you for listening in if you have been, and get in contact with us. Facebook, Twitter, you know, we've got TipsterHQ Twitter, we've got TipsterHQ Facebook. Just do a search for us and you'll find us. And of course, you can always contact us through the website as well. So thank you, everybody, and good night.
Good night.